Hello, everyone. Welcome to our exciting journey into the world of reading and how it can supercharge your English skills. You might be wondering, why should I read in English when I'm already attending classes, doing homework, and watching movies? It's a great question, and today we're going to explore why reading is not just an extra activity but a crucial part of mastering English. So, get comfortable, grab a cup of tea, and let's dive into the magic of reading. Many students often ask me, why should I read in English? They might think, I go to English classes, do my homework, and watch movies in English. Isn't that enough? They wonder why they should invest time in reading books in English. Let me explain why reading is so crucial and how it can significantly enhance your English skills. Let's start by looking at the bigger picture. Not so long ago, attending university was not as common as it is today. For example, in 2006, only about 1 in every 100 people went to university. But fast forward to today, and that number has increased significantly. Now, approximately 7 out of every 100 people attend university. This shift means that many jobs now require stronger reading and writing skills than in the past. Whether you work in an office, a factory, or as a mechanic, today's jobs demand more advanced reading and writing skills than ever before. Let's explore how reading can help you build an impressive vocabulary. Imagine you're reading a gripping novel about an adventurous journey. As you immerse yourself in the story, you come across words like resilient, intriguing, and remarkable. These words might be new to you, but they're not just random terms. They become part of your vocabulary simply by seeing them used in context. When you read regularly, you're constantly exposed to new words and phrases. This exposure helps you understand their meanings through context, which is a more effective way of learning than just memorizing definitions. For instance, if you read about a character who faces a daunting challenge, you get a sense of what daunting means from how the challenge is described. This contextual learning helps you remember and use new words more naturally in conversation and writing. By integrating new vocabulary into your daily language, you enrich your speech and writing. This not only makes your communication more precise but also boosts your confidence. Imagine talking to friends and being able to use words like meticulous or vivacious. It's not just impressive, it makes you sound more articulate and engaging. Next, let's talk about grammar. Grammar might seem like a puzzle with many pieces, but reading helps you see how these pieces fit together. When you read a variety of books, you encounter different sentence structures, punctuation, and grammatical patterns. By observing how sentences are crafted in books, you naturally absorb grammar rules. For example, if you read a story where characters have a dialogue and you see how past and present tenses are used, you learn how to use these tenses correctly in your own writing. It's like learning to play a musical instrument by listening to beautiful music. You start to understand how it all works together. Moreover, reading exposes you to a range of writing styles and genres. Whether it's a mystery novel, a historical biography, or a science fiction adventure, each genre has its own unique style and structure. By experiencing these different styles, you learn how to adapt your own writing to various contexts and purposes. Now, let's delve into fluency. Fluency in English means being able to use the language smoothly and confidently. Reading is a powerful tool for developing fluency because it helps you get used to the rhythm and flow of the language. When you read extensively, you start to recognize common sentence patterns, expressions, and idiomatic phrases. This familiarity helps you use these patterns naturally in your own speaking and writing. For example, if you often read conversations between characters, you'll notice how people typically respond to each other in everyday speech. This makes your own conversations sound more natural and fluent. Reading also improves your comprehension skills. The more you read, the better you understand how different parts of a text connect. You learn to follow a storyline, grasp the main ideas, and recognize supporting details. This skill is essential not just for reading but for understanding spoken English as well. Choosing the right book is crucial for making reading a fun and rewarding experience. Start by picking books that genuinely interest you. Whether it's an exciting thriller, a heartwarming romance, or a captivating mystery, find something that sparks your curiosity. If you're new to reading in English, start with simpler books or graded readers. These are designed specifically for learners and often come with helpful vocabulary and grammar explanations. As you gain confidence, you can move on to more complex texts. Remember, the goal is to enjoy your reading experience. If a book feels too challenging or boring, don't hesitate to set it aside and try something different. The key is to find books that keep you engaged and motivated to read more. To make reading a regular part of your life, set aside a few minutes each day. It doesn't have to be a long session, just a short period of focused reading can make a big difference. Find a comfortable spot where you can relax and immerse yourself in the book. Consider keeping a reading journal to track your progress. Write down new words you encounter, interesting phrases, or sentences that you find particularly well written. Reflecting on your reading experience helps reinforce what you've learned and gives you a sense of accomplishment. Also, make reading a social activity if you can. Join a book club or a reading group where you can discuss books with others. Sharing your thoughts about a book and hearing others' perspectives can deepen your understanding and make reading even more enjoyable. Engaging with a reading community can enhance your learning experience. Look for online forums, local book clubs, or social media groups dedicated to reading. Connecting with others who share your interests in books can provide motivation and encouragement. Participating in discussions about books allows you to practice your speaking skills and gain new insights into the material. It also helps you see how different people interpret and respond to the same text, broadening your perspective and understanding of the language. Technology can be a valuable ally in your reading journey. There are numerous apps and websites designed to make reading easier and more enjoyable. For example, e-readers often come with built-in dictionaries that allow you to quickly look up unfamiliar words. Some apps offer audio versions of books, which can help with pronunciation and listening skills. Others provide interactive features, such as quizzes and vocabulary lists, to reinforce what you've learned. Exploring these technological tools can enhance your reading experience and support your language learning goals. Reading should be a source of joy and inspiration. It's not just about learning new skills, it's about discovering new worlds, exploring different perspectives, and enjoying stories that resonate with you. Allow yourself to get lost in a good book. Whether it's a thrilling adventure or a touching romance, let yourself be fully immersed in the experience. The more you enjoy reading, the more motivated you'll be to continue. Remember, reading is a pleasure as well as a learning tool. If you find reading in English challenging, don't be discouraged. It's normal to encounter difficulties, especially when you're starting out. If you come across a book that feels too difficult, try breaking it into smaller sections and focusing on understanding just a part of it at a time. Use resources like dictionaries or translation apps to help with unfamiliar words, but try not to rely on them too heavily. The goal is to understand the overall meaning of the text, not to get stuck on every single word. Most importantly, be patient with yourself. Language learning is a gradual process, and progress takes time. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and keep pushing forward. Let's look at some real-life examples of how reading has made a difference for language learners. In 1965, a fascinating experiment was conducted with boys who had been in trouble with the law. They were given exciting books, like James Bond stories, and had the freedom to read or not. Remarkably, many of these boys chose to read the books, and some read as many as one book every 2 days. After 2 years, these boys showed significant improvements in their reading and writing skills. They also enjoyed school more. In contrast, the boys who didn't have access to these books did not show much improvement. This experiment highlights how engaging reading material can lead to meaningful progress. Another study was conducted with students learning English in the Fiji Islands. Researchers compared traditional grammar classes with sustained silent reading and reading aloud. The students who read extensively showed much better results in their English skills compared to those who only had traditional grammar instruction. To make the most of your reading practice, apply these strategies. Choose enjoyable books. Select books that you find interesting and enjoyable. If you're excited about what you're reading, you're more likely to stick with it. Start simple. Begin with books that are at your reading level. As you grow more comfortable, gradually challenge yourself with more complex texts. Set reading goals. Set achievable goals, such as reading a certain number of pages each day. Goals help you stay motivated and track your progress. Reflect on your reading. Take time to reflect on what you've read. Consider the themes, characters, and new vocabulary you encountered. Reflecting helps reinforce what you've learned. Experiment with different genres. Explore various genres and styles. Different genres offer unique vocabulary and sentence structures, enriching your language skills. You might think that fairy tales are just for children, but they can be incredibly useful for learning English. Fairy tales often contain rich language, essential vocabulary, and valuable lessons. For example, a study found that 85% of the words in novels are on academic word lists, which are important for university study. Reading fairy tales can also introduce you to useful vocabulary and expressions. Additionally, reading genres like science fiction can help you learn technical terms needed for specialized fields. So, don't underestimate the power of fairy tales and other genres in expanding your vocabulary and language skills. Let me share a personal story to illustrate the power of reading. In 2020, I set a goal to read 1 million words in Arabic to improve my language skills. This was equivalent to reading about 20 standard-length novels. I started with easy materials, like podcast transcripts, and gradually moved on to more challenging texts, including translations of books I was already familiar with. By the end of this journey, my Arabic had reached an intermediate level. I could understand almost everything I read and heard, and I could comfortably hold conversations. This progress was primarily due to the extensive reading I did. Remember, the key to successful reading is enjoyment. Choose books that are easy to understand and enjoyable to read. If a book feels too hard or boring, it's okay to set it aside and find something else. The goal is to make reading a pleasurable and rewarding experience. John Hattie, a leading researcher in education, underscores the significance of selecting reading materials that captivate your interest. He suggests picking books that are so engaging they might make you forget you're actually studying. This could be anything from thrilling mysteries to heartwarming romances or even fantasy adventures. Don't hesitate to explore translated works if they aid your understanding of the language. To ensure a text suits your level, aim for at least 98% word comprehension. If you encounter too many unfamiliar terms, the text might become overwhelming. Conversely, with just 2% of the words being new, you'll likely grasp the main ideas, making the reading experience both enjoyable and educational. If you find a book too difficult or if it doesn't hold your interest, don't hesitate to switch to something easier or more exciting. The most important thing is to enjoy the reading experience and stay motivated. To sum up, reading is a powerful and enjoyable way to enhance your English skills. By expanding your vocabulary, improving your grammar, and developing your fluency, you can make significant progress in your language learning journey. Remember to choose books that interest you, set aside time for regular reading, and embrace the joy of discovering new worlds through literature. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're inspired to pick up a book and start reading. Happy reading, and happy learning. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories on improving your English skills. See you next time. The list of the vocabulary is in the description.